You see a new messaging app, and what's the first thing that pops into your head? Probably, oh great, another WhatsApp clone. Look, it's a natural comparison, but so often it's just completely wrong. So today, we're going to break down why that label totally misses the mark when we're talking about tools built for serious business.
This quote right here, it gets straight to the heart of it. A clone is cheap to build. A command layer is impossible to copy. And we're not just talking about a few extra bells and whistles. We're talking about a fundamental night and day difference in value and complexity. One is a simple copycat. The other is an entire foundation.
So what is the real difference? I mean, how do you actually tell apart a simple, easy-to-copy chat app from a strategic command layer that's nearly impossible to replicate? Well, to really get it, we've got to follow the money. And that means talking about the surprisingly high cost of building what seems like a simple clone.
All right, let's talk about the cost of a clone. You'd think, hey, how hard can it be to build a chat app? But the reality is, it's a super high price to pay for shockingly low value.
Just look at how quickly these costs start to climb. A basic no-frills clone, that can already set you back $25,000. Need something a bit more advanced? Boom, you're jumping all the way up into the $80,000 range. And for a fully custom enterprise solution, you are easily looking at over $100,000.
So here's the real kicker. After dropping over $100,000, you'd think you'd have the perfect solution, right? Wrong. Even at that price point, these clones are fundamentally broken. They are missing the critical capabilities that modern organizations absolutely have to function.
And that brings us to what we call the modern enterprise gap. So what is this gap exactly? Well, you can think of it as this massive canyon between simply sending messages back and forth and what a real business needs to operate securely, efficiently, and, in full compliance.
And this isn't some small crack in the pavement, it's a chasm. We're talking about absolute non-negotiables here, things like governance and compliance reporting. We're talking about real bank-level security, and by that I mean it meets the same tough data protection standards as your bank, with encrypted audit trails, not just basic message encryption. Businesses need AI-driven workflows that automate processes and fine-tune control over who can talk to whom. These aren't just nice-to-have features, they're the foundational pillars of a modern business, period.
So, if spending a fortune on a custom clone isn't the answer, what is? Well, the solution requires a completely new way of looking at the problem. We need to stop seeing this as just another app and start recognizing it for what it is, an entirely new category of software, a communication operating layer. And this is where AImara comes into the picture. It's defined as a secure, customizable communication operating system. The key phrase there, the one you really need to hear, is operating system. It's not just another application you download, it's the foundation that your actual business processes are built on top of.
Hey, remember that enterprise gap we were just talking about? This is how you close it. You need governance and security? Check. AI-powered workflows? You got it. Deep analytics, roles, and compliance? It's all baked right into the core. This is a direct answer to every single one of those problems we just laid out.
But okay, the difference goes even deeper than just the features. It gets to the very heart of what creates real, long-term value in technology, intellectual property, IP.
And when you put them side by side, the difference is just stark. On one hand, you've got the clone, basic chat, cheap to build, and honestly no real defensible IP to speak of. Then, over here, you have the operating layer, built on complex workflows, full governance, and, this is the crucial part, it creates protectable intellectual property. It's a strategic asset, not just another commodity tool you can replace tomorrow.
So the crucial takeaway here is that the real value isn't just in the simple code that sends a message from A to B. The defensible value, the thing that's actually worth something, is in the entire architecture, the unique processes, the systems, and the governance-driven workflows. That's what can be protected. That's what creates a competitive moat that a simple clone could never, ever cross.
So, to bring it all together, if there's one thing you remember from all of this, let it be this. AImara is not another app. It's not just one more icon on your screen. It is your organization's secure operating layer, the absolute foundation for how you communicate, operate, and protect everything.
And that leaves us with one final question for you to think about. Take a second and think about the communication tools your company relies on, day in and day out. Are they built just for chatting, or are they truly built for operating? Because as we've just seen, that difference is everything.